Hi, this is Bill Rosen with Bill's Guide for Buying and Selling Used Cars. I'm here today in the beautiful state of Washington inspecting a car that's been sitting for a while. So let's take a quick look and see what we see. So the first thing I do when I inspect a car is I take a quick walk around the outside. This car's a little different, however. This car's been sitting for a long time. If you take a look at the license fact here, you're going to notice it says 5/2024. That's a little while ago. We're filming this in February of 2025, so this car has been sitting for a while. And you can see it's been sitting under some trees. If you take a quick look up, our cameraman, you're going to notice we're sitting in what feels like a forest. Welcome to Western Washington. And this car has suffered the brunt of the beautiful weather that we don't always have. Take a look here, you're going to see pine needles all jammed in every place. You're going to see the sap from the trees that has settled. You're going to see the moss that has grown. Cleaning this off is not as quick as taking a quick rag with some soap. There's stuff here that is not going to want to come off. I can feel it under my finger. You come around here to the door, you're going to look at this door here, see the moss, see the moss that's grown in here. Some of this will come off, some of this will require a lot of work to get off. We make our way around the car. I noticed the tires are actually in pretty good shape. A lot of good siping that's left. They're Michelin tires, and when I look at the DOT stamping on this, I see that these tires were made, this was made the 7th week of 2022 by that right there. So these tires are only 3 years old and there's a lot of good tread left, so that's a good thing. Come around here, you take a look at the windshield, you can see all of the pine needles that have gathered in there. One of the problems with that, of course, is as the water soaks in, all of this is going to go down into the engine area and it's going to cause a real problem. Take a look at the headlights here, you're going to notice there's a film on these headlights. These plastic headlights lenses are beautiful. Problem is they can become very, very oxidized over time. You add that with sap and moss, and these things are not only pretty ugly, but they really do cut down the driver's ability to see at night. Coming around here, we see that there's a spare tire on there. We don't know why, but there's a spare tire, one of those little mini ones. And come around to the side, we see kind of the same thing over and over. And so you get an idea for what we're looking at. Let's take a look inside the trunk and see what we see. Now this car, there's no battery in it, so we can't pop it from the inside. A little trouble opening there. All these pine needles that gather in here, not hard to get it out. Problem is that the pine needle, the water comes down and it floods over, and trunks can get really flooded here over time, and that moisture buildup can create a real mold problem and a real smell problem. And the carpeting inside here is not true carpeting. It's kind of a cloth material, but kind of paper. And this stuff is kind of hard to clean and get the smell out over time. Let's take a look now on the inside of the car. Come on over. And I want you to just take a look here. Look at this door panel. See that right there? There's a term for that. It is called black mold, and that is bad. Yeah, that is bad. We don't like black mold. You can clean that, and even after you've cleaned it, it's going to leave some stains. And if you're not careful, you will scrub not only the black mold off, you can kill it with bleach, but you're also going to run the risk of damaging this plastic and discoloring it. If you look at the seat here, that really worries me. When I see that seat, I see mold, I see black mold, and it could have grown under the seat cover into the foam padding. Don't know that's true, it's a possibility. And this is a car that I would not be thrilled with getting into unless I was wearing a respirator. And I don't mean one of those COVID P95 masks. I'm talking about a respirator that you would use to paint a car, something like that. Because it just wouldn't be healthy to get inside there without it. Let's take a look at the back seat now. You can zoom in here and you can see there was an animal here. You can see a lot of animal hair in here, which is, you know, animal hair is tough to get out. And you can see there's a dog leash, so clearly they've had animals in here. Animals are beautiful and we love them, but they do smell, especially when they're wet and the car is wet. And this car has been wet over time. So after you've taken your walk around the outside, taken a look on the inside, you look in the trunk, time to look under the hood and see what we see there. Okay, take a look. Yeah, you can see here that all of this aluminum engine here, this aluminum head, you can see all the buildup of corrosion. This is all from moisture over time, okay? And then you can see the batteries out of it, and you've had what looks like some friends. These are woodland creatures. We love them in Western Washington, don't we? But take a look. You can see here that you've had not just tree droppings, but also been squirrels or mice or something under this hood over time. We would want to check to see if it'll start. That's an important thing. But first, we check the oil. Pretty important. Take a look at it. Now the oil is interesting here. Is that the oil actually looks good. I'm going to see if it's the right height or not. It looks like it. The oil's at the right level, and when I look at it and feel it and smell it, the oil is actually good. This is a very good sign. Sometimes you open a hood of a car like this, you check the oil, and what you find on the dipstick is what we call chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is when there's some kind of a problem with the inside of the engine. It could be a cracked block or many other things, but there's water that's mixed with the oil, and it becomes the consistency and the look of chocolate milk. So the other thing we want to do is, if we can, take a look inside here and see what we see. Normally I'd wear gloves, but I'm not wearing gloves now. Just take a look. You got to be careful when you do this because there are some sharp edges in here. Well, it doesn't look beautiful, but the engine's not brand new either, but it doesn't look bad. That's the main thing. That my first impression of the oil is good. It's a good news story. Another thing that I put a battery in it. Parking lights came on. It's good. Car has not run in a long time, like probably could be over a year. And so we're going to see what happens. If the engine is bad, we walk away from a car like this, unless you are a great mechanic who's got time and you get this car cheap. And I mean cheap. I don't mean a good deal, I mean an excellent deal if you're going to go into an engine if this car doesn't run. If the car runs and we find that it runs pretty well after sitting for a year, we'll know. This car can be picked up at a good price. It would take, you're thinking here about 6 hours a day over a 3-day period. This car will be ready for market. As bad as it looks, it could be ready in 3, again, probably 6-hour days, depending on how hard you work. So let's just take a look and see if it starts. You ready? Let's check it out. Tim, he's going to give us he's going to make an attempt to start the car. He is a brave young lad. Let's go for it, Tim. Wow. All right. It started. Let's take a quick look at the back here. Let's go to the exhaust pipe. All right, that is great. There's no smoke. Come back around. Let's check. Okay, what we're looking for right now is called blow-by, and that is where there is going to be smoke coming up here, and there is none, which means this engine, I think,
seems like it's in good condition. We haven't checked to see if there are any leaks or anything yet, but that's a really good sign. Oil is pumping up, means the oil pump is in good condition and is working the way it's supposed to. So far there's no weird sounds, no weird smoke. Let's take a look at the dash and see if there's any lights on. The only thing I see is a tire pressure monitor, nothing else. It's all good.
Oh. We have taken a quick walk around inspection. We looked at the outside, body's straight, meaning it's not all dented up. I did not see any signs of rust. Headlights, taillights, everything is intact. There's not broken plastic everywhere. Outside looks good. The glass, other than being filthy and covered with pollen and tree sap and moss and mold, glass is good. Interior is a total disaster. Don't know what that means yet if we were to get in and try to clean it. The engine seems very sound. We didn't go through the steps of putting it in drive and trying to move it. We'll assume for the moment that the transmission's okay. We wouldn't be buying it unless we checked it, but for now, that doesn't seem bad. All in all, my impression is if you could buy this car at even below wholesale, because there's work to be done here, get a good price on it, 3 days work on this car, you're going to sell it, and you could probably make yourself, I would say, $1,200 to $1,800 for 3 days work. Now, maybe it doesn't seem like a lot to you. To me, $600 a day for 6 hours work, $100 an hour, I'll take it. This car has got a lot of potential. And one of the things that we always have to keep in mind is when you see a car that looks like this, you can't allow yourself to see it and make a quick judgment and say, yuck. Because if you do that, you'll never make money. You've got to be able to see what other people don't see. You've got to be able to have a vision for what can be to make this car safe, reliable, and attractive to somebody who's looking for an economical car to drive back and forth to school, be an Uber driver, be a pizza delivery person, whatever. That's what this car is about. And if you can pick it up cheap, put some time into it, you can make a few bucks. So again, this is Bill Rosen with Bill's Guide, Buying and Selling Used Cars. Check me out on my website at billrosenbooks.com. That's billrosenbooks.com. And on my YouTube channel at Bill's Guide, Buying and Selling Used Cars for more videos on this. For today, from the Pacific Northwest, wish you a good day and have a great one.